timing chain. Okay, so timing chain properly around the sprocket on the bottom. Take out the bolt up top. That's a 12mm. All else fails, use your impact. Cheap tools. Cheap. They work. Mm-hmm. 12mm bolt. There's a little hole right there, a little dimple. There's the outside, and there's that same little tiny rivet that matches that. So you have your timing chain on down here in your lower sprocket. Now I'm going to the upper sprocket, put it on. Now right here is where the keyway is on my engine. So the keyway is right here. You can see in behind here on the timing chain, you'll see a little tiny straight up and down stroke. That keyway is lined up with this here, means your piston should be at top dead center. Alright? Now it's a matter of feeding that chain into this, putting it all together. You want I got my tensioner backed up and tighten in here with a bolt so it don't spring back in again. So that's why these are loose. This is loose for now. When the tensioner goes on, it'll come out and keep constant tension on this one. Alright. Now just put my chain on there. I'm losing it. Inside the engine. Did have a screwdriver. A little screwdriver here that helped me before. Change that again. Get the chain started. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to find there it is. Okay. So, if I got the keyway on here, and it's pointing at this little tiny stroke that's in here, which is straight up and down, which should be top dead center. What I'm looking for next is up here on my housing. There's one for top dead center. But the stroke is over here. So what I want to do now is lock my chain around until I get this stroke. It's hard to see, but in here in the housing you can see a little tiny, there's a straight little line in there on top of this stand built into this casing. So I'm going to move one of those strokes, it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to want this one. I'm going to try to lock that one around up to there. Here's what I got done. I got the key. It's lined up with this little stroke right here. This one here is lined up with this line right here. So I gotta stop that for a second now and check something out. I can't remember if that's supposed to be up there or if these two are supposed to be horizontal across, pointing at these two bolts, and that should be up here. I gotta check that out first, and I'll be right back to confirm that with you. Okay guys, just back. I can confirm it. Confirmed. This is your sprocket locating pin, and each one of these marks here, it doesn't matter which one, like I said before, you get that in the locating pin, so it doesn't matter. And the diagram does say it should be over to the right like this, which means that your cam is probably in a position where it's not taking any strain from being at the touching any of the valves. So I was drawing before, this is where it takes your attention. She must be pulling from this side, because this will be the loose side, so she spins counterclockwise. This is the way you want her to spin. So when I push that right on that little mark up there, you see it on the if you probably can't see it through this camera, but if you were looking here, you'd see a little straight line in through there. Lines up with this line. Your key right here, right on your cam spindle, should line up with the mark that's on your engine case, right back in here. And they're pretty lined up there. I mean, you're talking about a whole tooth you'd have to move left or right in order for that to be off again. So I'm happy with that. That's close on the timing. Before you put your cam tensioner, your chain tensioner in place, you tighten this little nut up, which held the tensioner back. Now at this point you want to release it. So to release it, I take my 10mm bolt, a wrench, and I just loosen that up, and she came out and she tightened up on this here. And if I look, my mark is still on there, my mark is still on there. What was going on, my old timing chain, you look at them side by side, they looked almost the exact size. But with this spot on the mark here, this mark was a half a length this way. And if I try to put it back on the timing here, she'd go a half a length this way. So she was always a half a length off, left or right, of this mark up here. So to me, that told me that my timing chain was stretched. They were $108 Canadian. That's taxes and everything in, which factoring in for the US dollar and shipping costs, this was about the same price. So I had to bite the bullet, pay it. Okay, once that's in place, I'm going to leave this loose for now. The next stage is to rotate your engine 3 or 4 times. So I want to follow the way that the engine will be rotating, which is counterclockwise, or drawn before. So I'm going to watch this up here. Just went. Now this time I'm going to bring her up and line her up on the mark. She's lined up perfectly on that, and she's lined up perfectly on that. So I spun her enough times, it took up the tension. Like before, like I said before, she'd be a half length that way or a half length that way, which was too much. She just couldn't take that at a time. Alright, that should put her on her timing. Now that I got her on her timing, and I know the proper tension is out here on this chain now, everything's nice and snug on the sprockets, I'm going to tighten this bolt back up again, because you don't want any more tension continuing on that. It'll just wear everything down so much quicker. So there's no tension on that. She's not on exhaust or intake right now. I'm just going going to snug that in. That keeps the tensioner from moving any further. Okay? What you do in about a year's time, or if you hear a lot of rapping in there, is you loosen that up, spin it a few times, let it go back, let it go in, adjust again, you tighten that back up again. You don't want constant pressure on that thing. Alright? Next, I'm going to put this back on. This should go right in. Just get on right nice and snug. And there we go, in place. Alright. Now I got the little chain. This goes over to your starter gear. This is just a starter. Now I did do another video before, because this is your Magneto, this is your magnet. On the back side of this is called your sprite clutch. And what's in here, you might think that they're round bearings, but they're not. They're actually oblong shaped bearings. And what they're meant to do is, in one direction, they will bind tight and cause this shaft to spin. Okay? But once your engine gets going, it can go fast, and when this turns, the bearings loosen up because of their oblong shape, and the engine spins freely. Okay? Remember, there's a keyway here that matches the keyway here for timing for your engine. So I've got to put that on there now, followed finally by that little bearing. Now, the thing is, of course, when I didn't want it to, this thing tightened up. There we go. Just want to loosen that up. You can't put that on with that under. I'm probably not doing this the cleanest and nicest environment here, but try not to get too much dirt inside your engine. Okay, I'm going to line up this with a little keyway here. Make sure that key is there, because that's important. Because out here, that little tiny strip of metal right there, that's what does your timing for you. Okay, that goes past your pulsar, which I showed you before, coil, pickup coil, which is right there. When that passes, that's when it tells the engine to fire. And if you look on here, there's a little line, and this is all scratched up, but there's a little line right here that says the letter T, and right there, that first mark, that's your ignition timing. That should tell you where your timing should be, right there. Okay, so you know that you're spot on your timing. Put this on. Catch the key back there. There. It should push just right under like that. Now, I just realized I did something wrong. I can still do it without doing this, but I'm going to take this off again. Simple fact, I forgot to put that little starter gear on. It'd be much easier to put this on. But not there bothering me. Okay. This should go on here. Starter gear like that. There we go. That's what it does. Like that. And then I'll put on this here. Goes on like that. And simply bolts in. And setting it, simply reverse of what you did before. in. It's there. Give it a smack like that. And that tightens it up. Now, I can put on that needle. There we go. That's it. You see, you watch the chain, she can spin this way freely. But the minute you try to go back this way, she binds up. And that's the spread clutch. That's what allows your starter to turn, get everything going. Now, this little bearing. This little bearing should go on. Trouble with this one before. Go on right this time. I don't want to beat it up or anything. So I got myself a little plastic ball. That's not steel. So give it a tap, keep it going. Put it under. And then I got a deep socket which will fit over the axle but meet the race on the bearing. Like that. So we just tap it under. Nothing hard, nothing too aggressive. Just get it under, no damage. Now comes the hard part. These wires got to be threaded back through here, and these grommets got to be able to fit in there. This is going to take a little bit of doing. Let's see if we can get it done. Get that back on in place. Unfortunately, YouTube gets a good shot of my butt here because I got to do this so that the grommets get on in place properly. There we go. Those two rubber grommets just fit in the groove right there, and there's a little set of guides where those wires got to fit in all the way along there. There we go. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Now, let's put this back in. There's a keyway with this too. Key should fit right. Oh, there's the key came out. It's there. Should be able to just fit it right back in there. There it goes. Just like that. And then that goes on. And the bolt 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 goes on. Alright. Use my air hose again and put the two of those on.